Alright guys, today we have a special video because today I'm doing a story video. I never did do these type of videos, but today is a special kind of day because I don't feel like playing Minecraft. But I have some beautiful Minecraft parkour in the background, so let's get started with the story. So I'm gonna start with my fourth period before all the events took place. And oh wait, first this story is like about these kids walking out of school to protest. It's pretty crazy. Like and subscribe, and let's get started. So start off with my fourth period. Well, my friend, we'll just call them Cassandra, because I'm not gonna use their real name. But so me and Cassandra, we sit next to each other in class. So fourth period ends, pretty normal period, I'd say, and we go to lunch. Now lunch is when everything takes place. So we go to lunch, walk around, we get some drinks. Like, we just walk around school, we talk. We meet up with one of my other friends. We'll call him Lucas. So, Lucas doesn't really have that lunch period. He just goes there to be there. And so, we follow him back upstairs. So, we go downstairs. There's, like, this staircase that goes next to the front door. So, we go down those stairs, and we see, like, four kids sitting there. Some kids coming down the stairwell that we're going down. And they're, like, gathering in front of the front door. So, obviously, we're getting pretty curious. So, we come over and we're like, hey, what's going on here? So, they're like, oh, we're going to call the person. We're going to just call them, what should we call them? We're going to call them, think of a name real quick. We're going to call them Misha. So, Misha's like, alright. So, alright, so Misha's like, oh, we're going to walk out to protest about something, like, trans rights, I think that's what it was. And honestly, I don't really have a problem with that, but really, a Friday, right before spring break, but, so I'm just like, oh, cool. And then they're like, are you going to join? I'm like, I don't really know how to respond to that, because, I'm not trying to get in trouble and possibly get suspended for walking out of school. I mean, that's not the way we're going to go out. Like, that's not the way I'm going to put on my record, you know. So, I'm like, so me and Cassandra, I think that was her name, we walk away, and we start seeing more kids come over. We start seeing some kids come over, some kids skipping class to come over, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. They must really be passionate about something. But a few moments go by, we walk back over there, we're like, alright, when's the walkout thing starting? And they're like, oh, now. We're like, now? Well, we don't participate in it, because, like I said earlier, not the way to go out. So we're like, oh, okay, that's insane. So we walk back, and we hear the doors open, and we turn back around, and then they are walking out the front door. They're just like walking out, raising their hands, jumping around, smiling. I'm like, but they're protesting. They're protesting with quotations. Well, really, all they did was walk outside and dance and walk in the field and jump around, and cool, I guess. And I was like, they're definitely gonna get in trouble. I don't know what they expect here. They're gonna walk outside, dance in the field to show something, and they're not gonna get in trouble. Like, that's insane. So me and Cassandra walk back to the lunchroom, which is like right across from the front door. So we just walk to the lunchroom, and we see some of my other friends. We're gonna call them Brayden and what's my name? Oh my gosh, so many names. And we're gonna call the other one Daniel. So Daniel and Brayden, they walk over, and Brayden says, why are they going out there? And I'm like, oh, they're protesting about trans rights. And like, oh really? I'm not trans, but I'm gonna go see what they're doing. So we walk over there, and my friend, what was his name? I forgot his name. Oh my gosh, what was his name? So there was Brayden, and then there was Daniel. So Daniel got bold, and he just he just walked outside. He walked outside, and my friend Braden trolled him and locked him out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So they go, and he's like, oh, they're protesting over trans rights. Trans rights. They kind of have the same rights that everyone else has, just that they're treated differently. So they're protesting something that doesn't exist. I was like, oh, he just hit me hard there. Like, okay. Like, in this moment, I'm kind of confused because, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm like, trans rights? I didn't hear about this anywhere. I'm like, all right, well, so they walk out, and Daniel's locked out, and they're like, don't open the door, don't open the door. And then one of my other friends come over. No, they don't come over yet. So then they're like, they let Daniel back in, and then they walk back to the lunchroom, and then one of my other friends from the lunch table comes over. His name will be, for this video, what? So many names I have to make up. Let's make his name, crack. What should his name be? Let me look around. Let's name him Chris. So Chris comes over, and they're like, bro, what they doing? And I'm like, oh yeah, I asked for the same thing I just explained. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they walk over, and then the kids that walked out, they come back walking back inside, and what do you guess? They're locked out, and me and my friends are just standing on the other side. Me, Cassandra, Daniel, Braden, and Chris. We're just standing on the other side, and we were staring at them, and we were like, and then Chris, the great man he is, goes to open the door, and then Braden's like, don't open the door, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't, you get in trouble. And so the kids that walked out, they decide to get bold, and they go through the student entrance. And do you want to guess who's waiting for them on the other side of the student entrance? What do you know? The principal. We're gonna call the principal Eric. So Eric stops all of them. Two of them walk out, and they ignore the principal, and the rest of them stay, and they're like, and they explain to the principal, oh, we walked out to promote such and such. We didn't damage anything. It's completely fine. We're just protesting for whatever I said earlier. And like, honestly, I don't really care what you are. It's perfectly fine. Like, it doesn't really matter. But then principal's like, oh, well, we can't let that slide because we don't accept civil disobedience, something like that. And yeah, you guys are you guys are in some deep stuff. They're like, blah, 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 blah. And by that time, we walk away. We go to theater, one of the classes I have. So we go to theater, and we're just like hanging out. We're just like, yo, what's good? We help out the stagecraft guy. We're gonna call him Mr. Beethoven. We're gonna name him Beethoven for this episode. If you guys made it this far, comment Beethoven. That's gonna be the word for today. So if you make it this far, comment Beethoven. I'll try to like and heart all those comments that say Beethoven. Let's continue. So Mr. Beethoven is building something, and I'm like, hey, you need some help there? He's like, yeah, I might need your help in a second. So he's drilling in some wood, and then I help him lift up the wood. So after that, I lift up the wood, and then we have like 5 minutes left, and then until lunch ends. So we're like, oh, we need to start walking upstairs to get to our class. So we start walking up, and while we're walking out, we see all the kids that walked out. They're just walking in the halls like nothing ever happened. They're just like, yeah, we did so good. And then we went upstairs, and there was some up there too. They're still skipping class. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then, we're sitting there. We're waiting for class to start. The bell rings, and 6th period starts. We have a party, not that much. basically a normal class, and sixth period, where the class I have with some of the people that walked out. So we go into the class, and they walk into class, and then they're just sitting there like nothing happened. They're socializing, doing good, acting like lunch was a normal day or a normal time, even though they didn't have lunch that period. But they were acting like nothing ever happened. Everything was completely fine. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So after that, I actually don't know what happened, because then it was like last period and then it was the end of the day. So if you guys enjoy this, like and subscribe. If you have your own crazy stories, send them to me via Gmail, link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Also, guys, they rescheduled it for after spring break on that Monday. So I'll let you guys know what happens, and I'll update you guys of the situation. But it should be pretty interesting. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.